Today I'm going to unbox, configure and test this TP-Link Tapo C100 indoor camera. Hello, I'm Blake, a professional innovator and designer in pursuit of the invisible smart home.
Water leak alert.
Before I get to the unboxing, I wanted to talk a bit about cameras in general and give you maybe some tips on how to set them up and configure them, and talk a bit about how to integrate them into your smart home or not. I tested a dozen or so different cameras, and I kind of manage 3 locations, a couple homes and an office that I play around with the security cameras. In regards to outdoor, indoor versions of the cameras, I found that even indoor cameras, you can use them outside in hot weather, cold weather, as long as they're covered from the rain or snow. So mounting them under an eaves, or even in some cases I've bought these clamshell covers that I put over top of them to use them. So in my experience, mostly you can use indoor cameras outdoors. I'll show you one exception with the Blink cameras in a minute. They have the white ones, which are the indoor cameras, and then they have these black ones, which are the outdoor cameras. And I'll show you the problem I had with one of the Blink cameras. Here's an indoor Blink camera mounted outdoors in the heat of Florida and the salty air, I guess. And there's supposed to be a white dome over that centerpiece there. That's where the motion sensor, and that acts as a bit of a lens. It probably gives it a cone shape and kind of defines the area where it brings in the motion. So that's completely disintegrated from this. Last time I touched the camera, it just kind of fell apart in pieces, and it's happened to the 2 or 3 that I have outdoors here. So in the case of Blink, no, you can't use them. You can't use indoor cameras outdoors. But I've used 5 or 6 other cameras that are meant to be indoor cameras, and the winters of Canada and the summers of hot weather in Florida, rain, snow, whatever, and they all seem to be fine. But yeah, the Blink cameras have an issue. So I've kind of settled on 2 cameras. The Samsung series of cameras, there's a couple different models, and they pretty much all work with the same app. And the Blink cameras, I've used the Blink where it's inconvenient to get power and I need a battery camera, and I use the others where it's relatively easy to get power. Ideally you would have power for all your cameras. Even the Blink's cameras allow you to connect power to them now. There's a USB port and you can hardwire them. So my recommendation, try a little harder, get power to them, because the batteries do run out, and it becomes an issue if you want to set up a lot of motion triggers, or you just want to look at the camera quite often. It's going to kill the batteries on them. So I did a bit of research before I decided to do this video to see if there's a camera out there now that integrates with the smart home well. And in my case, that's mostly Smartthings, but cameras don't really integrate that well with smart home controllers, at least not yet. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you can integrate the Samsung camera and I think the Blink camera with Smartthings. So you pull up your Smartthings app and it shows up there. But that's pretty much all you can do, is you can just see the camera in Smartthings. Maybe there's some minor features that I've missed, but that's not really what I want with smart home camera integration. I basically want the camera to act as an extra motion sensor in my Smartthings app. I want to be able to, on command, send a command to the camera to say, take a video or take some video clips. And with the new facial recognition features in some of these cameras, it'd be cool if the camera can send through facial recognition. Yes, I recognize this face. No, I don't recognize this face, along with the motion trigger. And then you could decide to automatically unlock the door or unlock the gate, things like that. But it seems it's not there yet. I'm hopeful that it'll eventually get there. And my research also, I came across the Eufy camera. Now, there's been some controversy recently about security and stuff, and I did some research there too. So I think the Eufy camera is a cool idea because it has this built-in solar panel on it. And for an outdoor application, if you mount it in the right location, it looks like you can get the thing to work for years at a time without having to worry about the battery, and that's a cool idea. So I'll be testing the Eufy camera probably soon and maybe do a video. But there's plenty of videos out there. Let me give you some tips on how I do integrate these cameras into my smart home. So getting an accurate motion trigger, I've got a camera here that I'm using to catch raccoons mostly. I've set up a little system that you might have seen in a separate video to stop them from going in the pool, because that's a big problem for anybody that has pools around here. Here's a raccoon that's heard the click of the camera and perhaps is looking at the infrared lights, but he doesn't go in the pool, and that's good. In any case, getting an accurate motion trigger can be difficult in some locations. There's moving branches, there's shadows, they cause a problem. You get too many triggers, so you don't know. You got to look at 100 videos to find out which is the one that has the raccoon in it, maybe. So what I've done is I've added a motion sensor right here. So I've just poked that out here so that anything that goes by that will trigger my Smartthings. And what I do with that is I trigger my security lights. The security lights come on, and what that does is trigger the camera. So you can set up your motion so that when these security lights come on, it triggers the camera and then it takes a video. And you know that trigger is only when something's there because it's based on this motion sensor. And so because of where it's positioned, it's not going to, or it's going to be pretty accurate in terms of motion. More accurate than I found, most cameras. Another similar trick is at the front gate. So basically when the gate opens, I have a contact sensor down here. It turns on my security lights. I think I set them for the daytime there, you might be able to see it. And they come on for 10 seconds or so, but that'll trigger the camera I have out here as well. But wouldn't it be cool, this is our new gate lock. Locked. Unlock. Wouldn't it be cool if the new gate lock could get a message that it recognizes the face and automatically unlocks the gate when somebody comes up? That's what you want your camera to do. Anyway, let's get on to our review of the Tapo. Alright, so let's unbox and see what's inside. This has a template for mounting, general public license notice, AC adapter, looks like it's got a good long cord, and the mounting hardware. Alright, there it is, got the slot. Let's put a card in there right now. Alright. So this is an indoor camera, of course, but it's something I would use outdoors, or at least test it outdoors, as long as I had it covered under a roof line or something. Alright, let's see if we can get it up and paired, but before I do, I just wanted to comment on the adapter. This is a 9-volt adapter with a barrel jack connection, which is a little unusual, the 9 volts, and I would have preferred the standard USB connection with a 5-volt adapter, a little bit more universal. Let's give it a try here. Alright, so I've installed the Tapo app, and I'm just going to add a device and follow the instructions. Alright, so the C100 is right at the top of the list. It's telling me to look for red and green blinking, which it is. Wants a temporary connect directly to my phone, it looks like, and I think it's going to use Bluetooth to pass the credentials. Alright, so it's already got my local networks.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connected.
It's a green light there. I think that's a good sign, but it does seem to be taking longer than I would like. Alright, going to the next step here. Looks like it's making some progress. Alright, so I'm not going to rename it. And I'm just going to stick it in the office. It's asking for which room. You've configured your Tapo device and it's ready for use. Sounds good. Some advertising crap, I guess. I'll skip that. You can always go to camera settings to get a 30-day free trial for Tapo Care. I'm not interested in that right now. Alright, so I put the micro SD card in there already, and it's asking me a time for regular firmware updates, which is 3 AM to 5 AM. That's fine. Alright, there's the camera. Let's just tap on it and see if it sees us. Alright, it's asking to, oh, now I'm getting some feedback, to initialize the SD card. I'm going to go ahead. You can see the feedback. I should be able to turn off the speaker here. That should fix the feedback. Alright, so it's, I can see at the top here it's 36%, 52, 66% done. So I'll wait for that to be done, and then I'll just go change a couple settings and show you the motion settings if I can find them. Okay, so let's say I found the micro SD card. That's good. Alright, so let's go to settings and play with some stuff here. Alright, so I can change the location and I can set the time. I can invert the image, I guess, if you flip it upside down. You can turn off and on the LED status depending how you want people to see it. I guess for security reasons, you might want to leave that on so people notice there's a camera. Detection, alerts. Let's take a look at that. Motion detection. Alright, so let's activity zones. Alright, let's edit the activity zone. So it looks like it has one big zone, so the whole thing is default to an activity zone. So let's change that. And so I delete it and let's add zones. So this is kind of cool, similar to some of the other cameras I tested. So I can set different zones. I can add another zone. So this is a way to kind of optimize so you get the motion triggers you want and you don't get the motion triggers you don't want. But as I said earlier, it's not always possible depending where the camera is outside, particularly for outside cameras. For inside cameras, yes. For outside cameras, no. So I've added 3 zones. Maybe you can probably even do more, but that's cool enough. Let's save that. And go back and let's just see what happens when there's motion. Where you find the videos. Oh, I wanted to set the video quality to higher. Let's go that. So it's set at 720. Let's set it at 1080. I always like the highest video quality. Alright, so there we are. Let's do a motion and see if it finds us. Playback in memory. Okay, so let's look at playback. Alright, so it shows a running man there. You can set schedules. I'm not going to worry about that. So it looks like it has all the basic features. 1080p, and you can set different motion zones. So it kind of has what I want. So I'll play around with that and testing. Of course, what it doesn't have is the integration into Smartthings or other smart homes. Alright, so in conclusion, I think it's a pretty good choice for the price. It was around 30 bucks. I think I posted it in the video somewhere. Some of the cool features that you expect in a camera, you know, of more expensive pricing is you can set up multiple zones for the motion, different zones. I set 3, maybe you can even set more. You can set schedules when you want to do it, and you might use that if you don't want to be getting videos all day of people coming and going, but it's only, you know, after midnight or something for security reasons, and that's good. Looks like it has a good user interface for managing the videos, and it supports the local storage with the SD card. Supports up to 1080p, which is what I set it for in my testing. So I'm going to give it some long-term testing and see what I think. I think it's a good choice. So look for my next video, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Cheers.